Yo, 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 what's up, my guy?
What's up, pimpin'? You
You
ready?
doing good? You good? You ready?
I'm straight, bro. Let's hop
I,
into this.
I feel
Let's
you.
do this. We got
Hey,
Texas. We got K State, TCU, and Texas Tech.
yep.
Four of the big dogs this year, including OU. So let's talk about it. House divided. My name is Corey Hilliard. Man next to me, Brandon Hill. We're going to talk a little Big 12 football tonight. B Hill, hit them with the house rules. Let's get into it.
Guys, it's real simple. Not going to take up too much of your time. Just do four things for us as we always ask for. Hop down there, hit that subscribe button, become a part of this House Divider family. Also, tap the notification bell while you guys are at it so you guys can be up to date on our newest and latest content. Also, you like what you're seeing, you like what you're hearing, just smash that thumbs up button for us and hop down there in those comments. We always want to hear from you guys. Good, bad, right, wrong, and different. Don't matter to us either way. So, as you were alluding to, let's go ahead. Let's get into this, Corey. These are the other four Big 12 teams right here. So, including Oklahoma State, OU, and these four teams right here, these are who we believe is going to really be in the thick of things for the Big 12 whenever it comes to the Big 12 race. We're not sitting here saying these guys are going to win national titles or anything like that. However, if Texas kind of does what they say they're supposed to do, they could definitely be one of those teams that could be mentioned in the Final Four towards the end of the season. As I alluded to last night, Corey, on our show, I'm I'm high on Texas this year, man. I'm a little bit more. I've always been one of those that's been kind of against the narrative, like, nah, Texas is not back. Texas is not back. Not saying they're back. I still have to see it on the football field because they've always had talent there. That's never been an issue with Texas University. They've got the most money and they're gonna get the most talent. That's just how this stuff works. Um, I mean, man, just looking at this thing, man, you got Rice week one. That's a W. We can probably wrap that one up. This next one, though, this is a very interesting matchup to me. Probably one of the best non conference matchups there is in all of college football as far as two teams matching up against each other. And this could potentially, rankings and everything haven't come out yet. This could potentially be, I would argue, top 15. I don't know where they're going to slate Texas. I could see them putting Texas around the top 10, to be honest with you, coming into the start of the season, just because a lot of people are really high on what Quinn Ewers can bring the second year there
Mm-hmm.
underneath that system. They've got weapons. They've got Xavier Worthy out there. I mean, yeah, they missed Bijan Robinson in the backfield, but guess what? They got the number one running back in the nation coming in out of 2023. His name's Cedric Baxter Jr. The dude's an absolute baller.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got players. They've got the offensive line that I don't know if you heard about it, the NIL deal that they pulled out last year for them freshmen that were coming in. Hey, you come be a Texas offensive lineman, we're going to pay you $50,000 a year straight up.
Yep.
That's a win. I'm taking
Yeah.
that. If I'm a high school kid coming out of high school and you tell me, oh, you're going to give me 50 grand, and this other place up the street here probably only can offer me some name, image, and likeness deals. So I say all that to be said, this week two matchup in Tuscaloosa, it's already slated as a 6 p.m. game. So it's going to be a nighttime primetime game.
Mm-hmm.
Did I would have to pick. This is tough, Corey, because here's where I'm at with this. All jokes aside, last season, I think we can both agree if Quinn Ewers did not go down in that football game, I think they would have handed Alabama an L.
Yeah.
Do
Most
you agree? Do you
definitely.
agree? Do you agree
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was on this show last night. You were kind of defending. You said, B, they only lost two games, Alabama, by
Yeah.
less than 3 points each game, right? So it was a
Yeah.
down year.
But they
That
won some
is
close ones, like you said.
exactly. And this Texas game was one of those because on paper going into that football game, Texas didn't have a shot and they weren't supposed to have a shot. They almost beat them. Now,
Mm-hmm.
granted, that was a hot day in Texas. That was a bunch of different deciding factors. Those receiving core that they had in Alabama last year, if I'm not mistaken, almost every one of those receivers are back this year. You got Ja'Cory Brooks. I can't remember the other cat's name. I'm the worst with that. They got Jace McClellan at running
AD
back in the
Mitchell.
backfield. A.D.
AD
Mitchell.
Mitchell's the other receiver you're probably thinking about.
So, I mean, they've got guys like last year I said that their receiving core just wasn't up to that par. It's because those guys, they were still a bunch of 4 stars, high 4 stars, and 5-star guys. They just they hadn't had enough game time experience. I think last season, what they went through, they're going to be better. The only question to me with this Alabama squad, it's a big one, Corey. Who is the quarterback? Who are they going to put out there? Now, who am I to question anything the great Nick Saban has up his sleeve? He's going to figure something out, and he will put. I can see them possibly running with like a Milrow to start the season. He has any bumps in the road or anything? You're going to throw that. I can't remember the other guy's name that came in. He transferred from Notre Dame. I could see him throwing that cat in there. I'm picking Texas in this one, Corey, against Alabama. I'm picking them to go pull up in there to Alabama. I don't think Quinn Ewers gets hurt in this game. I think another year, and I'm not necessarily just saying it because it's Texas versus Alabama. This has got a little bit more to it, in my opinion. When you got Steve Sarkisian, who used to be the offensive coordinator at Alabama, I think he wants to get a W against Bama underneath his cap before you go to the SEC. I mean, how big would that be for the University of Texas? Now, granted, here's the thing. I want Alabama to win this football game because you know what's going to happen if Texas does pull up in there and win this thing? Oh, Lord, have mercy.
They're going to shoot up.
We're going to hear about it. The media is going to be all over it. But, I mean, if I was a betting man, Corey, this next season, just because of the quarterback position for Alabama, I don't know who it's going to be. Now, granted, there's been seasons like that in the past where that's happened, and they go on and they win a national title. So, I don't know. What's your thought? What's your thoughts on this one, Corey? Because this is a game that's kind of got me stumped, to be honest with you.
Well, here's the thing. There's two things to look at here. Texas bringing back 9 guys on offense, 9 returning starters, 6 on defense. Alabama's only bringing.
You froze up on that last take that you just had. Yeah, you're good now.
Okay, so Texas is bringing back 9 starters on offense, 6 on defense. Alabama's bringing back 4 on offense, 5 on defense. So Texas is going to be the most experienced team in this matchup. The other thing I look at, they're solid at the quarterback position. I think Quinn Ewers will start. I don't think Arch Manning is ready yet. They're going to start off with Quinn Ewers. And then Alabama, like you said, they have the quarterback conundrum they're dealing with. Ty Simpson has been taking most of the first team reps, but how do you say it?
Milrow.
He's an X factor, bro. The dude can run. He's got burners. So I got Texas in this one. I just think for the fact that they bring back Xavier Worthy, they bring back 9 guys on the offense. That offense is going to be clicking. It shouldn't be not much drop off from what happened last year. And look, like you said, if Quinn doesn't get hurt in that game last year, bro, they win that game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I kind of agree with you. Look, after we did our show last night, I kind of thought about it, and Alabama easily could have been an 8-4, 7-5 team.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? They had a game with They had the game with Texas. They had the game with A&M when A&M was on a 4-yard line on the last play of the game. They could have scored and won. And they had the game. God, who else was it? There was another game that they could have lost in the last play of the game that I'm not thinking about. But you know, give me Texas, bro. Give me Texas. They're bringing back a lot. This is why Texas is favored right now. Lindy Sports has them number 9 going into the season. They're the Big 12 preseason favorite to win the Big 12. It's because they're bringing back the most people out of any team, not only in the Big 12, dog, but in the whole country.
But here's something that I do want to point out, too, on that. And I'm not just going to be a damn Texas pumper up in here all day because I absolutely cannot stand the damn Shorthorns. But they are bringing back that many guys off of an 8-4 football team, though, Corey. This was an 8-4 football team last season.
Facts.
There was a bunch of things. Now, granted, about 4 or 5 of them starters on the offensive line were either freshmen or sophomore last year. So they're going to be a year more experienced. They've arguably got the second best tight end in the nation. His last name's Sanders. I can't remember the guy's first name. He's arguably the second best tight end behind Brock Bowers in the whole entire nation. I mean, the dude's an absolute physical freak. But the thing that I think that this is going to be a high-scoring game, Corey. I don't think either one of their defenses are going to be able to shut down either offense. I
No,
think that both offenses are going to be able to score in this game. So, because I mean, when you stop and you really think about who the hell plays defense for Texas, I don't know. I mean, I know that guy Sweat that's been there for like freaking a million years. It's there. I think his last name's Sweat. Hell, I don't know.
You got
But
Baron Sorrell, the DN. He had an okay year last year. They're looking for him to really turn it up this year. But you're right. It's a young defense.
But when you're looking at a lot of those rankings and stuff, like you see where they do those conference player rankings and stuff, there wasn't a whole lot of Texas players on that.
Right.
I mean, there just wasn't. I'm not knocking them. I'm just being real. And Xavier Worthy's one of those receivers. I mean, he can drop a ball at any given time. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm rolling with Texas, though. You're rolling with Texas. So, we got Texas at 2-0 after Alabama, and that's going to just take them into a whole nother stratosphere as far as expectations. So, you got Wyoming the next week. That's a dub. They're going to absolutely wipe the freaking field with Wyoming. So, they're 3-0 here. At Baylor. This is always a game right here that can either go one way or another for Texas. Now, granted, I'm picking Texas in this game. I don't think Baylor is going to have the talent to be able to beat them. But the one X factor wild card in this is it's at Baylor. It's not at Texas. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
if this was at Texas, I'd say no doubt, no way. But I've seen Baylor upset a Texas Longhorn teams that they had no business beating. So I've seen that happen.
Yeah, it's a huge game for Baylor. It's like their Super Bowl. You know what
It
I mean?
is. No, it is. It absolutely it's the Texas teams, everything else. So Texas is going to win that game, though, in my opinion. What do you got on that one? You going with the dub there?
I got a dub for that one. I got them beating Kansas the next week. And so really, bro, they're going to be 5-0 going into that Red River shootout with you guys.
And as will OU.
We agreed on that last night.
So they're both going to be sitting there at 5-0. And I told you last night, it pained me to say that I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Texas does more than OU at the end of the game to win it. And I'm not surprised if this thing goes the other way. I hope it goes the other way. I hope I'm absolutely wrong on this take. But just looking at it apples to apples, as of right now, Texas has a better overall roster than we do. They just do, as of right now. Now, that can change. OU pulls some players in this recruiting cycle they're supposed to. You get some more guys in. There could be some guys that are coming in that you have no idea about right now that can completely change the landscape. That's the thing I love about college football. Because we're sitting here right now, Corey, in June. This game's going to be played in October.
Mm-hmm.
They still got fall camp that's going to be coming up.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the lab right now, just getting their bodies right, getting ready. I mean, I'm not telling you nothing new. You know what's going on right now. This is the time right now. They're grinding. They're getting ready for that fall camp because those guys want to be at tip-top shape and high peak form going into fall camp. But getting into here after a couple of conference games and everything, you start kind of figuring out which teams for real and which teams are not.
Right.
This is going to be, in my opinion, I'm calling it right now, it's going to be a top 10 matchup in the Red River, which is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I love those whenever they are like that because let's just be honest, when OU and Texas are good, college football is in a better place. It just, and I'm biased, yes, but that's that's a fact.
That's an important game, man, and especially when both teams are undefeated in the top 10. Whoever wins that game is going to have the upper hand and really propel their season. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think whoever wins that game,
they're in the driver's seat. Yeah.
For the Big 12, not only for the Big 12, but possibly a college football playoff berth.
Yeah. Yep.
And especially Texas. If Texas can go pull off that dub like we think they will at Alabama, and then they turn around a few weeks later and they beat Oklahoma, and they're sitting there at 6-0. Oh my word!
They'll be a top 5, top 3 team.
Now, okay, they do that though. But here's the thing. Here's what I've seen happen to Texas though too. They can win that game to Oklahoma. and fall completely flat on their face for the rest of the damn season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I've
Yeah.
seen that happen too. The next week they're going to be at Houston. Do not sleep on that game. I'm not sleeping on that game. And I hope Texas fans are not sleeping on that game. I'm going to pick Texas once again to win this game. But that's not with like 100% confidence. That's probably like a 70-30 is where I'm at with that pick. What do you say?
I'm right there with you. Houston has a lot of speed, bro. It's a team that traditionally they get all their players from Texas, and they got a lot of team speed and they play hard. So I wouldn't sleep on them either.
No, absolutely not. I mean, they could definitely pull up in. I mean, they're
And
at home.
that'll be their Super Bowl as well.
And you know that Houston University, first year in the Big 12, you know they want a piece of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
You know they do. They do. So, but we got a dub there. I think we both got a dub there as well. So we got them at 7-0 right now, Corey. 7-0. Texas Longhorns, 7-0. Oh, this is killing me, man. I ain't gonna lie. BYU.
That's a dub. That's a dub.
It's gotta be. If it was in Provo, I'd give BYU a better chance. I'd still pick Texas. But okay, 8-0. Kansas State.
Can I just talk about this 4-game stretch here?
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
You get the Big 12 champs, then you get the Big 12 runner-up who went to the playoff last year. Then you get Iowa State at Iowa State, and then you finish up with Texas Tech, who beat you last year and who's on the come up. This is a brutal 4-game stretch, bro.
Where's the loss?
To me, it's K-State and Texas Tech. I see them losing both of those games.
Both of those. So you got them going 2-2 to finish off the season after starting 8-0. So you got them finished 10-2. That's where you got them.
I'm high on Texas Tech and I'm high on K-State. I just think
you're not the only one that's high on Texas Tech, man. A lot of people are high on Texas Tech right now. That man McGuire, is it Joey McGuire, if I'm not mistaken, or something McGuire?
Yeah.
Coach, he was a high school coach. That joker, man, he is doing some. They're about to pick up a 5-star receiver out of the state of Texas over the University of Texas. So his name's Michael Hudson, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, and they bring back a lot of talent. They bring back 6 on offense and 6 on defense too. So I mean, you're bringing back half your starters.
I don't think Kansas State beats them, and here's why. I think the loss of Deuce Vaughn is absolutely going to hurt Kansas State. I think it is. He was kind of one of those do-it-all type of backs for them. Also, they lost Knowles out there at receiver. That was a big-time playmaker for them at receiver. His stats didn't jump off the board to you, but that joker just was one of those. If you needed a third down catch, he made it. He did it. I got them losing to TCU and Texas Tech. I think TCU is the game that they drop because it's on the road. And then I think Texas Tech just wants to give Texas a good old, to you, going out to the SEC. You know what I'm saying? They beat them last year. Beat them last year, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. Mm-hmm. But I think TCU, if I'm not mistaken, Chandler Morris is going to be the starting quarterback there for them.
Yes.
Transfer from OU. Shout out Chandler Morris. Love that guy. He's an absolute baller. If he didn't get hurt last year and give that job back, he would have still had it. But hey, worked out for TCU. I bet they wouldn't take anything back on that.
Yep.
But no, that's where I got them. I got Texas finishing up 10-2 as well. So that's pretty much. I said last night OU 11-1, 9-3. I got Texas's ceiling at 11-1 as well. I think they're going to lose one game on this whole entire schedule. I don't know exactly which one. I had to put my money on it. I'd probably go Bama as my highest. Like, you had to put money on your life against the team. I'm not putting my money on TCU or Texas Tech over Alabama when it's on the schedule. I'm just not. at Alabama. I mean, come on now, you'd be freaking nuts. So that's where I'm at on Texas. 11-1 is a ceiling, 10-2 is a floor. Because I just don't see on that schedule where they lose more than 2 games unless they just go back to classic old Texas. So
facts. No, that's fair. That's fair.
That's where I'm at there with them. Okay, let's look at this here. What do we got? All right. Non-conference. Up until they get to Missouri, I wouldn't worry about Arlo. They lost to damn Arkansas State a couple years back. It can happen.
Well, they lost to Tulane last year, and we kind of poo-poo. Remember we talked trash about Kansas State losing to Tulane, and Tulane wound up having a really, really good year.
And then they turned around and beat us.
Yeah. So
yeah, but everybody beat us last year, damn near, it seems like. So it was just a year to beat up on the Sooners last year. But enough of that. We're not talking about that tonight. Okay, so SEMO, I don't even know who that is. That Southeastern Missouri or something? I don't even know.
Something like that. But let's talk. Here's what they got coming back. First off, they got 8 on offense coming back, 4 on defense coming back. The 8 on the offense is strong. You got Will Howard, who absolutely balled out when he took over the job. You got Rashawn Ward taking over running back. You got DJ Giddens. He had 89 carries for 518 yards and 6 touchdowns last year. So, like you said, they did lose their star running back. But, you know, they got some help. Rashawn Ward coming over from Florida State. That's a big addition. Their problem is going to be on defense, right? Can they really hold people down? The cornerbacks are young. What are they going to do? Can the defensive line rebuild too? Because I think they lost that number 56. He was like a first or second round pick. They lost a lot of guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah. I mean, but here's the thing about Kansas State, though, Corey, and you and I both can agree on this. You can never sleep on them damn Purple Cats, though.
Bro.
You cannot do that because they will catch you sleeping. Because here's the thing that they don't do. No matter who the hell coaches them, who plays, it don't matter. They don't beat themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't. They're not a heavily penalized team. They're not going to do stupid things like stupid turnovers. Like, my gosh, man, they just play fundamentally sound football. And I mean, when Snyder leaves, and then you go get the coach from North Dakota State. It's like, are you serious?
Yeah.
How do they do that?
They just they restack, they reload. I mean, there's a culture there, bro, and it's one of those culture teams that you're gonna be in a dogfight every time you play them.
Absolutely. That's one of the teams that I'm very happy they're not on our schedule as an OU fan. So glad I don't have to play this team this year. So you got Troy, W, 2-0. I think they go pull up into Missouri, into Columbia. I think they beat Missouri. I mean, I don't even know who the hell Missouri has, let alone who's coaching them. Don't really care.
It's a
just saying. UCF, first game, Big 12 play. I don't think Kansas State going to let UCF pull up into Manhattan and beat them. I just don't see it. So we're agreeing there as well. So we got them at 4-0 right now. This is an L. Oklahoma State will beat Kansas State just because you guys always freaking do. It seems like it never matters how good K-State is. You guys are like the one team in the whole entire Big 12 that K-State can never figure out.
That's true.
You guys, I mean, it's always, every time. The years that we even beat y'all beat K-State. We lost. I'm that's how you can't be like, I always tell my friends, you can't be like, oh, well, this team beat this team and we beat y'all. No, that don't make a damn. It don't matter because week to week it's different matchups. I got K-State pulling up in there to Oklahoma State and taking their first L of the season here. And then I got them also pulling up into Texas Tech the week after that and taking 2 straight L's.
Ooh.
2 straight L's here. And then I think that they can I could see 3 here, Corey. Really, I could see 3. There could be 3 straight conference losses in your first 4 conference games. I could see them starting the season at 1-3.
I got them beating Oklahoma State. I got them beating Texas Tech. I told you I'm high on this team, and I got them beating TCU. So we're complete opposite in this. I will say this: Oklahoma State does play them well. Outside of last year, that 48-0 blowout, that was an anomaly. Usually, we handle K State pretty good, but Texas Tech, I think K State gets them on the road. K State outplayed TCU the 2 times they played them. I think out of 8 quarters, they outplayed them like 6 out of the 8 quarters. So I like them against TCU. I like them against Houston. I
Oh, don't say it. Don't you do it.
I
Oh,
like
no.
I like them against Texas, man.
No, no.
Yeah.
You said that when we were talking about Texas just a second ago,
Yeah,
but
I said they lose. I said Texas loses to them. I really said I think K-State's going to repeat as Big 12 champions. I really do.
whoa, that's a hot take. That's
I
a
really
no.
do.
I don't see it. I don't see it. Not losing a talent like Deuce. And really though, while I'm saying that about Kansas State, why didn't I bring that up for Texas? They lost Bijan Robinson. But
Yeah,
there's levels to this though. They brought in a 5-star dude to replace him, and Kansas State didn't do that.
that's true.
So, no,
They
man,
did get the transfer in from Florida State, the Ward kid, Trayshawn Ward. But he ain't no. I mean, come on.
There's a reason that he
Yeah,
transferred from Florida
transferred.
State.
Exactly.
Yeah, and went to K-State. Let's just no knock on Kansas State. They're a solid football program, but they're not Florida State. They're not. You go to Kansas State because you can't play at Florida State. That's what happens. So,
Yeah.
okay, so you got them undefeated up until Texas. You got them beating Baylor, I'm assuming. You got them beating Kansas. You got them beating Iowa State. You got them going undefeated.
I think they trip up somewhere, man. And I don't know where the trip up is. It could be Texas. It could be Baylor. Baylor traditionally plays K-State really well. And so you just I don't know. I don't think they go undefeated because the Big 12 the past couple of years has just been so competitive.
They've cannibalized themselves, honestly.
Yeah, so there's going to be a week where they slip up, but I have them winning a conference. They'll be in the title game.
See, I disagree with that. I don't agree with that take. That's fine though. That works. House divided on full effect right here. I got 4 losses for them. At best, I could see them going 9-3. Floor 9-3. All right, no floor or ceiling 9-3. My floor is going to be at about. Oh my gosh, I could honestly see we got 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I could go floor as low as 7-5, Corey. To be honest with you, so you got 9-3 to 7-5 for me on Kansas State. That's my ceiling.
Is there a game on this schedule that you would be surprised if they like? What team do you just think is absolutely going to overpower them? There's no team on this schedule that they can't beat.
Texas will. Texas will overpower Kansas State.
So in your eyes, they're 11-1, or you're saying TCU and Texas Tech.
Yeah,
and Oklahoma
that was who.
I just don't see it, man. They're bringing back Will Howard. They're bringing back their starting quarterback who took over the job and drove them to a Big 12 championship.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have Deuce Vaughn to hand the ball off to no more. I'm telling you, that's going to affect him. I promise you, it is.
I agree.
That was a lot of their offense, Corey. A lot of it.
I think they'll overcome somehow.
I like your take, man. You're going to eat some crow on this one, though, my brother, or I will, one or the other. I'm telling you, I disagree, but I'm 7-5, 9-3 at best. That's where I'm at with it. They've got at least 3 L's on this schedule, bare minimum.
All right.
So, lucky they didn't want to play OU, or they'd have 4.
They're the ones that kick-started that demise that y'all had last year.
Yeah, no, we would have had to pull up to Manhattan, so I'm glad we didn't have to play them suckers this year. I'm so glad. Thank you.
Oh, man. Let's talk about the defending runner-ups in all of college football last year. This team was the national runner-up.
They were about the 3rd best team in that playoff. Let's be honest.
They beat the tar out of Michigan,
but they wouldn't have beat Ohio State, and they damn sure we already know they didn't beat Georgia. They wouldn't have beat either one of them squads. If Ohio State would have beaten Georgia, they would have mopped up the floor with TCU just like Georgia
Oh
did.
yeah, of course, of
So
course.
that's why I say that. But they were in the but I digress.
So looking at it, TCU new quarterback. They get a new receiver, J.P. Richardson, John Paul Richardson, who was at Oklahoma State last year, has been called the MVP of the spring, the spring and summer so far for TCU. That's a problem because JP was like our third or fourth best receiver last year. So I'm not high on TCU this year. What do you think before we talk about the schedule?
I mean, I'm not. I definitely think they're going to take a step back from last season. I just don't see them repeating that success. They also, side note on this one, they lost their offensive coordinator to Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett Riley. I mean, them Riley brothers just like snaking teams. That's just what they do. So he's over there this year at Clemson, which I
Yeah.
think is a huge boost for the Clemson Tigers. But we'll
Right.
definitely go. We'll go ahead and just move on from there. I got them, man. I mean, we'll have to go through this schedule. Just looking at this schedule right now, right off top, I've got about 2, maybe 3 losses that I see even before we scroll down to the bottom. And the losses that I see on here, just to make it simple, they're going to beat Colorado. Colorado's not there yet. They're
Right,
just
yeah.
they're not. They got some players here and there, but they don't have a team yet. And prayers to Deion Sanders too. I don't know if you've heard all that news about Deion, man. That man could literally almost lose his foot. He's having circulation issue. I mean, prayers to Deion. That's a GOAT right there, man. I want to see that man be healthy because he's very good for the college football game, and what he's doing over there in Colorado is absolutely phenomenal. So, I mean, Nicholls State, I got them beating them. Dude, they could pull up into Houston, take a L.
They could.
They could. Just because this is going to be, well, how many starters and did you say that they have returning? What's their return on them?
3 on offense, 7 on defense. So they're going to be a defensive team to start off with for sure.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess they'll be.
You also got to think about the hangover getting your ass whooped like that in the national championship game.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a hangover. There's going to be some kind of just like confidence problem.
That team was full of super seniors last year, though, man. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's why they only 3 returning starters on offense.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a long year. It's gonna be a long year. It is because TCU doesn't recruit at the level of like your Texas's, Oklahoma's, things like that. So they don't just got guys that next. No. I think
B, if you look at their last 5 games, I could see them losing to K-State. I already said they would. I can see them losing to Texas Tech. I can see them losing to Texas, Baylor, and OU. I have OU beating them.
Oh, at Norman? Yeah, we ain't letting them pull up into Norman beat us. Nah. Last game, Big 12? Nah. It's not going to happen. No way. No way. And I will be there. I'll be there. 100%. No, I'm with you, man. I'm right there with you. So who did we say? Scroll back up there to the top real quick. Let me take a look at that one more time. Who did we say here? I got them. Man, I told you they could pull up into Houston, take an L. So there's 1. Iowa State 2, Kansas State 3, Texas Tech 4, Texas 5, 6. Man, we could be looking at ourselves as sweet. Really? 7 and 6?
Yeah.
It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me. So a floor of that's tough to say though. A floor of like 7 to 6, 7 and 6.
Yeah. You got to remember who they were last year too, bro. A lot of these games that they won last year were comeback wins. I mean, Oklahoma State, we were beating them by 14 in the 4th quarter. They were losing to Kansas State by 17 points. They were losing to Texas Tech by 10 points. They were down to Baylor. They won that game at the end of the game with a field goal. I mean, they had a lot of comeback wins last year.
Yeah. No, and that's usually whenever you see that kind of stuff. I love that you brought that up. Whenever you see that kind of stuff, the next season it can go the opposite way for you. Some things you don't get those breaks that you did. I mean, and hell, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they knock every damn quarterback out of the game except for the Texas game last year?
Mm-hmm.
Like they were knocking starters out left and right.
Yeah.
Now they were already dusting the Sooners before Dylan Gabriel went down. That wouldn't have made a difference. But like, no, I'm with you. So they could lose as much as 6 games. I don't really see them going any more higher, like lower on losses than that. More than say, I'll give them 8-4. 8-4 is where I'm at. So 6-6 and 8-4. That's my ceiling and my floor.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I'm right there with you. 6-6, 8-4 would be a good season with this schedule, especially the last 5 games. That last 5 games is going to be a.
That's brutal. That's brutal, man. The Big 12 as a whole seems a little better this year too than what it was last year. I mean, you're gonna have Oklahoma and Texas both as top teams.
Top 10 teams. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Well, goddamn, I hope OU can be top 10. I see them more as like a top 20 team this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were top 10. I don't know. Yeah, that's where I'm at. TCU is gonna come back to earth. They're gonna come back to real life this year. Y'all had a great season last year. You got smoked by Georgia. Hangover's real though. It's gonna hurt them this year. I'm with you.
They're gonna come back to earth hard, bro.
That's where I'm at.
All
so
right.
What else? Okay, we got Texas Tech.
This is the dark horse right here.
Look at that, starting off week 2 right there against Oregon. That game right there. Am I allowed to say they win that game? They're serious. They lose that game, they're pretenders.
Yeah.
We're going to know that right off the bat because if I'm not
That's
mistaken,
at home.
Oregon's going to be top 15, top 10 at least. Oregon's up there. They got Bo Nix coming back. I mean, Oregon's got a bunch of dudes. Dan Lanning is head coach over there. He's going to have them boys playing more defense. I mean,
Oregon is going to be a problem. Oh man, that game's going to be juicy. It's a 6 p.m. kickoff, so it's going to be a night game in Texas Tech in Lubbock. Golly, man. I don't know.
The thing is
you want to say it. You want to say it.
I want to say give me Texas Tech, man, but I'm going to say give me Texas Tech just because I want the Big 12 to beat the Pac-12. It's our conference. We've got to hold it down for them. I hold it down for everybody in the Big 12 minus Texas, to be completely honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I got Texas Tech getting a big dub there. That would be an absolute big win for their program, kind of to let you know, because there's been a lot of national narrative on them. This can be that game that's like, yeah, we're going to be here. We're somebody to be talked about. So I could see them winning that game. And then you got Tarleton State. They're going to win that. West Virginia, dub. Houston.
That's a tricky one for everybody. Houston, you just never know.
I'm going with a dub there.
I'll go with a dub too.
Here's their first L. This is one of those, because there's always that game that just throws you off. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, how did that happen? I think it's going to be Baylor for Texas Tech. Ooh. I think Baylor is going to get the – and Baylor has a hell of a head coach, man.
They do.
What's his name? It starts with an A. Last name starts with an A, does it not?
Joe Miranda.
Miranda. That's right. I get these – I'm the worst with names. He's going to have them boys ready to play. It's going to be a game that they'll be ready for. I got an L there for Texas Tech. What do you got?
I got this will be a revenge game for them because Texas Tech, I'm looking at the schedule, they lost 17-45 in Lubbock last year to Baylor. So, this is going to be a revenge game. I like Baylor.
At home, Waco.
Yeah.
They're going to be ready. This one right here. I know where you're rolling with this because you had Kansas State winning the damn Big 12.
Yep.
I'm going with Tech. Give me Texas Tech in this one.
Really?
Give me Texas Tech in this one. Because this next week, going to Provo, I got BYU upsetting them.
Ooh.
Yep. And I'm going to go back. I'm going to change some stuff up. I thought about this. I'm going with Oregon against Tech. I'm picking Oregon. I'm changing my pick right now. I'm allowed to do that because nothing's been finalized yet.
Okay.
Oregon's going to beat them. Baylor's going to beat them. Kansas State will not beat them. They will beat them. They will lose to BYU.
So that's 3.
And then they'll win out the rest of the year.
So they'll beat TCU. We agree there. They'll beat Kansas. They'll beat UCF. Now, are you sure? Because if you look at
No,
this
that's
last
Texas.
one,
That's Texas. No,
yeah,
they're not beating Texas. They won't beat Texas.
That's already a 6:30 kickoff too. They got that thing.
They beat Texas last year though. That was in Lubbock. Weird things happened in that game.
Yeah, Bijan had a late fumble that kind of set that up for him.
So, man, it's tough. It's so hard though to predict a game in November because you just don't know.
I don't see Texas losing that game.
I don't either. I don't see Texas losing to Tech 2 years in a row, and I sure don't see Texas. That's kind of one of their little rivals in Texas. They're not about to give Texas Tech the satisfaction of beating them their last game in the Big 12.
No,
it's just not going to happen. So, okay, so a ceiling for this team, maybe 10-2. Is that a little high? Maybe 9-3.
I'm thinking 9-3.
9-3, and a floor could be as low as 7-5.
Yeah, I got 9-3. I don't see him beating Texas. I don't have him beating K-State. I got Baylor beating them, so there's 3 right there. And that Oregon game's a complete toss-up. Oregon will probably be favored. I'm more with you now. The more I think about it,
I just kept thinking.
Yeah.
Do I really think? No, so I don't.
That's 4 right there. So my ceiling would be 8-4, and then this Houston game intrigues me a lot, bro.
I gotta see what Houston's looking like. I gotta look at them. I'd have to watch a little bit of tape on them and kind of break them down. How was Houston last year? What was Houston's record last year? Do you have that on hand?
I don't. I do. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They were 8-5 last year.
Okay, yeah, they're not gonna lose.
But the year before that, they were 9-3. They gave Cincinnati some fits.
Yeah,
they were
lost
really
to Cincinnati.
Good.
2 of those 3 losses were to Cincinnati. If I'm not mistaken,
yeah, they lost them in the championship game, and they lost them in the regular season.
That's what I thought. So, and that was a very talented Cincinnati team too. I mean, they
went to the playoffs.
gave Bam all they can handle that year.
Yeah,
too. I mean, so okay. No, 9-3, 7-5. That's where I'm at with this team.
Yeah, I got 8-4, 6-6, maybe if they slip up somewhere else.
But they could absolutely surprise all of us though and run the damn table.
I don't see them running the table, B. I don't see them beating Texas. It'd be nice if they beat Oregon. 10-2 is possible.
Running the table for Texas Tech would be going 10-2 and making a Big 12 title game. That's running the table for Texas Tech. I'm not saying they're making no national title or anything like that.
Yeah.
But because the only chance they had at that was that year with Michael Crabtree and Graham Harrell and all them boys that were over there. That was a talented squad. I haven't seen that at Tech lately. I don't know, man. Texas Tech is one of those teams that's the surpriser this year. I'm kind of glad we saved to talk about them last on tonight's show because I just don't know what to think of Texas Tech. You know, I mean, they had a lot of close games last year themselves, too.
Oh, yeah.
Where if the ball flipped the other way or did something else, it could have, like, Bijan didn't fumble the ball. OU, the refs actually freaking called the field goal good when it really was good. You know, I mean, weird things happen in Lubbock. So,
yep.
It'll be interesting. But I think the Big 12 as a whole, just kind of breaking this down. We broke down Oklahoma State and OU yesterday, and we broke down these 4 teams tonight. Those are really, to me, in my opinion, Corey, I don't see the other teams that are below that. I don't see any of the newcomer teams coming in. I don't see Cincinnati. I don't see BYU. I don't see Houston. And I damn sure don't see who's the other team? Cincinnati. I don't see any of them being able to compete in the Big 12 in year one. I think it's going to be Oklahoma, Texas, man. I just do. At the end of the day, they've got the two most talented rosters, top to bottom, as they always do in the Big 12. And I just think that they, because let's just be honest, the Big 12 is salty as all get out right now. That OU and Texas are leaving, as they should be. That's revenue just completely walking out of it. Because let's be real, what the hell is the Big 12 conference without OU and Texas?
No, that's your two best teams leaving. That's your two flagship.
that hurt. I mean, it's the same with it's the same with what the Pac-12 is about to deal with whenever USC and UCLA go head off to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think it's all going to come down to, at the end of the day, Corey, I think you're just going to have two super conferences in the SEC and the Big Ten.
Yep.
You're going to have all those schools from the ACC, the Pac-12, the Big 12. They're going to be flooding to get into each one of those conferences. And you're going to have your 12-team playoff. And we're just going to roll from there. It's going to be great entertainment, great college football. You're going to have a bunch of top 10 matchups week in and week out.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with it?
There's nothing wrong with it. Times are changing, man. That's where we're going now.
It's money.
Lucrative business.
They getting that paper. Yeah. It's all the paper. I mean, I like it, though. I'm excited for it. I mean, we got this season. I mean, me saying Oklahoma and Texas could just take over the Big 12 this year, it can go the opposite way too for both of those programs, in my opinion. Because of the look, is there a look ahead factor? Are they looking ahead to that SEC like, man, I'm just tired of playing in this damn weak ass Big 12 conference? They're going to be thinking. I'm not saying it's weak, but they're looking forward to going to the SEC. Oh, yeah. You just know they are. So
they're joining the big leagues, man. I mean, think about being a season ticket holder at OU, and instead of having Kansas, Iowa State, whatever as your home games, now you got LSU, Alabama, Florida. You know what I mean? It's just a step up, bro. So,
yeah, prices go up too, damn it.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it.
Yeah, I'm going to be in there still. I will be there. I'm pretty sure you're going to come on down too that first week in that SEC when Bama comes full.
I got to come to that, bro.
Got to. Yeah. Got to. Absolutely. Man, is there anything else you want to talk about tonight?
Nope, that's it.
Hey, as always, my guy over here, I got to shout him out. We shout him out every show. My guy, Matt. This is like the one guy right here. He's like the House Divided podcast #1 fan. He's a homie. I like this guy. Appreciate the support, my dude. Hey, share the video for us, Matt. Give us a thumbs up for a like, my guy. And comment down there for us, too, if you don't mind. That would help us out a lot as well. As always, though, guys, you already know what time it is here at the House Divided. Just drop down there, subscribe for us, tap the notification bell, thumbs up button. Last but not least, though, guys, talk to us. What's your thoughts on what we had tonight? Are we a little too crazy, out of whack on these picks? What do y'all think about it? I think my guy Corey over here, see this damn camera, man, it messes with me. My guy Corey over here is smoking on something good because K-State winning the Big 12. Come on now, my guy. I need to come over there to Owasso, Oklahoma, and get what you got, my guy.
Just wait. Just wait. One of you, either y'all or Texas will see them in the championship game. Book it. You can mark it now.
I hope not. I don't want to play them. I don't want to play them. That's the one team in the Big 12 that scares me the absolute most.
Yeah, so I'm not that crazy
every year. No, you're not. Crazy. No, but that's just because they play OU like that. They've been crap and beating us. They went 7-5 and beat us when we went 11-1, and that was our one damn loss going into the playoffs. Like, I digress. I can go all night talking about that, my guy. All night. So, all right, man.
All right, brother.
There we are. Hey, I do want to point out, though, before we hop off of here, Give the people your take, because we are an NBA channel as well. Give the people your take on the Porzingis trade to your Celtics, man. Marcus Smart out the door. I want to hear
Hey,
what you got to say
man,
about
hate to
that.
see him go. I love Marcus. That's another Oklahoma State guy. Longest tenured Celtic until they traded him. If we can get Porzingis, he had a decent year in Washington. If we can get that guy and get a strong point guard, oh man, I just hate to see Marcus go. I think it was good and bad at the same time.
I was just really curious though to see, because I really thought Jaylen Brown was the one that was going to get traded.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, the dude is talented as all get out. He's just a little too flashy for me. I
He's
think if
learning how
you
to dribble.
exactly, that's what I'm saying. He wants to dribble too damn much.
Bro,
Shoot the ball. You're a shooter. You're not a dribbler. You're not a creator. That's not what you do. You better
Yeah.
just shoot the damn ball. So that's the one guy. If it were me, if I were the Celtics GM, Brad Stevens, I'm not trading Marcus Smart. I'm packaging Jaylen Brown, and I think you might have gotten something better than even Porzingis back. I don't know what it would have been, but are you telling me right now? Or let me give you this one. Are you telling me that a Jaylen Brown with a Malcolm Brogdon and a couple first round future draft picks wouldn't have gotten you in a conversation for a Damian Lillard? Possibly.
It could probably still happen. It could probably still happen, bro. It's not out the realm of possibility.
Well, according to Damian Lillard, he's wanting to run that thing back and give Portland a chance to make it better.
I get so tired of him talking, bro. Which one is it?
I'm over it. Just come to freaking LA, dude, and win a chip. Stop being scared. That's all I'm saying. Just come to the Lakers. He would look really good in that purple and gold. He really would. We got Anthony Davis and some first round draft picks ready to go for him right now. What do you want? You want him?
He just wants to be a god in Portland. I get it. You're already going to be solidified in Portland for the rest of your life. Just leave.
That's what I'm saying. He could leave tomorrow, and they're still going to love that dude. Because if I'm a Portland Trailblazer fan, I would want better for Damian Lillard. Yep. I mean, you're just looking like another Charles Barkley, honestly.
Yep. Facts.
Now, granted, Charles Barkley and them Suns probably had a much better chance if it wasn't for Jordan. They probably would have won a chip, but Jordan broke a lot of guys' hearts back in the 90s.
Yeah, he stopped a lot of legacies. I'll say that.
John Stockton, Karl Malone. Yep, absolutely.
Clyde Drexler, shoot, Gary Payton.
We never got to. I always wanted to see the Houston Rockets with Hakeem and them. I always wanted to see them. I think that's the one team that would have given. They had to give them fits.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, who's stopping Hakeem?
Nobody. Not Bill Cartwright or not Luke Longley either.
I wish they'd have put Luke Longley on that man, Hakeem.
Oh, he'd have ate him up. Barbecue chicken, like Shaq said.
Barbecue chicken alert. Absolutely. All right, man. I just wanted to get that in before we hopped off online. So, other than that, guys, slide down there for us, guys. We want to hear from y'all, as always. So, we sign on into this thing tonight. We're going to sign on out. Peace, guys. Peace.